nothing happened here.
Hey Rubber and Roadies, we're here in Prague, Czech Republic at Festka's Dream Bike Factory.
Welcome to the Festka. This is one of our space where we produce the bike. So here everything starts and everything finished. So everything starts with this carbon wire. This is our basic material. Everything what we do, we do from the carbon and the resin. So we combine these two things and we create the frame for it. This is a wire what we buy in Japan. We produce a tube like that. Those tubes are made by the robots. They do the filament welding around the steel mandrel. Then we release the mandrel and we have a tube. The advantage of it is that it's from one single wire, which is never cut it inside. So the tube has incredible performance, which means like stiffness, for example. If you will measure the bending stiffness and the weight and the durability, this method it's one of the best. It's also allowed us to play with high quality carbon fiber and also to choose own resin. In the 2017 Festka was invited by the European Space Agency and we start to cooperate with them so we can measure what happened with the bike during the riding. So how it reacts on the different kind of the rider, how it reacts on the different kind of the surface. With the 8 cables we can ride on it. So we have a small backpack with an energy source and with a small computer, so we can measure what happened with the bike inside the tubes and inside the lamination, which allowed us to continually improve our tubes. If we find with something new, basically the next month bike can have that upgrade. Those dropouts, normally this kind of the stuff you can find on expensive watches like a Richard Mille or Hublot. Every single layer needs to be applied by the robots and every detail on the frame needs to be perfect if you want to do a good bike. This is a tube, top tube from the Scalatore, so you can see that it's light. You can compare it with titanium tubes and stainless steel.
Wow.
So you can see those stripes here. This is just the rest of the resin, so it needs to be very carefully brushed off. The interesting thing, our bottom brackets, so it's independent tubes, so it can easily work with force going from the bottom bracket shell. Every tube has a barcode. With that barcode, we can follow back everything, the source of the resin, the source of the wire, the temperature in the company, the person responsible for the robotic section on our wires. I mentioned that the tube is made from one single wire. What I want to show you on that is how the tube can absorb the stress, which is important for the riding. So we can do a bike which are very stiff and very comfortable. There is no delamination process. Normally, if I will do that with some ordinary pre-prick tube, what can happen is that the delamination process will start. This is quite sharp edge, as you can see. Only like a few scratches, nothing happened here, so this is from it. Sometimes the people are scared to order the carbon bike for the gravel, and if I will did that with one of those titanium or steel tube, it will be mesh. So our tubes are tube-to-tube tubes. Few advantages what I like on that solution. The first is that you have the absolute freedom to create any possible geometry, which was my goal when we found the Festka, that definitely we would like to do the full custom bikes without any limits. Now we need to glue them with a resin, so it's basically same substantiation what is inside the frame. When we release the frame from the jig, it goes here to the first quality control. So it looks like that. The tubes are just glued together and we can measure it. If it's straight, it goes to the next station. If there is something wrong, we can easily heat it and reconnect the tubes together. All these lines here, and here represent one working operation and also one the quality control checks.
What's this one for?
You know them? When the bikes go through the heating procedure, we will put them over there. Can you see that?
Very hard to see.
Yeah. So it needs to go back to the paint shop, which means that we need to rebrush all the frame and to repair it and to do it again. So our quality control is very
thorough.
Yeah.
So Michael, I heard you used to be building the frames yourself.
I did it a few back in the days when we built the new bike and the new prototype. We dedicated as much time as we needed. Today I'm still head of R&D, but it's working in a different way.
Where did you used to make the bikes in the beginning?
It was Andrej's mom garage, and what was interesting on that was multifunction space, because when we have some session with a customer, we rebuild that place to be an office and a fitting studio, so it was really crazy times. And for us it was very interesting to go out and to start to working on the bike, and then we was very surprised how many very high-end quality company and the workshop we found here in the Czech Republic, and based on that cooperation we start to develop bikes.
So you released a new bike last year, Scout, and you have a new Spectre.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite Festka, or you like them all because they're all like your kids? You can't
It's hard
pick
to
a
say.
favorite.
So all our bikes are like my babies. So
Yeah.
you can't tell that you love one baby more than the other.
Yeah.
What I do mainly when I design the bike, I try to be in the skin of someone who should ride the bike. Scalatore is a huge challenge to design light bike. It's not just about the lightness, it needs to be stiff, because if you pedal to the long climb, you appreciate that. And it needs to be also the stable in the descent and the solid, because in the mountains very often you have a very bad road. It's amazing that I need to prepare to put myself in the skin of someone else and try to think like a different people. So this is my job and I like that.